Glad to have you with us once more for the Phil Taylor Jones Show. Today, as we said before, you can never really set an agenda. I know I said probably wasn't going to be back this soon, but here we are again because the craziness just keeps coming and coming and coming. I'm Phil Taylor Jones, your host, and let's jump on into this one. You know, this thing with these Muslim people in general, Islamists or extremists, if you will, they seem to never stop. It's like that, you know, that old commercial, the Energizer Bunny. They just keep going and going and going and going and going. Okay, well, we're here today with something that has gone on in the Montgomery County School District in Maryland. And it's just another example of them coming into our country and making demands upon our systems, upon our government, upon our will to be Americans. They want to change things. And it's become all too familiar. Time and time again, you hear it in different cities, different forms of government, different forms of everyday living. Now our schools. I mean, what is it with these people that, one, they can't go to a place and just be content with being there, supposedly safe? Insulted Muslims forced a Maryland school to ban Christmas for this pathetic reason. That being, oh, well, we don't have our holidays on the books. And when our kids stay off from school to celebrate our holidays, they have to miss a day. Even though it's an excused absence, we still have our perfect attendance ruined, or either we miss time off with our families. Well, you know, to that I say this. You're coming to someone else's country. Number one, they don't have to include your stuff within their daily fabric. They don't have to. It's an honorary type thing, which it really shouldn't be. You know, I think America should have never started that stuff, because most oftentimes when you start with something eventually is going to come along that you don't want to be bothered with. But because the norm has been that you've done these little things, you kind of have to keep on doing. Otherwise, there's a big, you know, oh, you did it for them, why don't you do it for us? It should have always been just American stuff. This is America. It should have been American stuff. That includes holidays, whatever the thing is, the national anthem, whatever is attributed to America, it just should have been America. Don't give these people a stick to crack your head with. And that's what America has done. Because you look at other ethnicities, they've come over and they've gotten different holidays. And now these have come over. You don't necessarily want to have nothing to do with their holidays, but because you've done it for the others, that's why they jump on the bandwagon and start hollering and whistling and screaming and huffing and puffing. All right. Instead of the Maryland school board saying, no, we're not going to do this, they buckled. And this is the way they buckled. It says, whether you were new to this country or not, most people in the United States celebrate Christmas and the birth of Jesus Christ. When Muslims tried to change the holiday calendar to recognize their specific holiday, all sorts of mess was created. In other words, all hell broke loose. Local Muslim families have been protesting for not having their major holiday as part of the school's calendar. Montgomery County School District in Maryland decided to eliminate Christmas so not to offend them. See, there it goes again, people. Their offense. They now call winter break and Easter spring break. Do you think the school board should have given in to the demands of Muslim parents? An emphatic hell no. I don't know at which point America got stuck on stupid. I don't know at which point our leaders, our supposed people of governance, decided to just lay down, prone position, and let these foreigners just trample over them like so much road dust. Don't you realize that every country has its own machinery as far as political machinery, its own traditions, its own values? Again, I say, what if a bunch of Americans would go to any Muzzy land, whether it be Syria, Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, anywhere where Muzzies congregate, and we went over there barking and screaming about not having Christmas or Thanksgiving, especially Thanksgiving, because that's basically an American holiday. Christmas is kind of celebrated globally. The things we hold dear as Americans, like 4th of July, Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day. Well, maybe Valentine's Day is celebrated somewhat universally. But especially Thanksgiving and we want that on the calendar. And why don't we have it on the calendar? If we went over there barking and screaming, we'd probably be ostracized up the yin yang. And in the case of this principal, this Korean principal, coming over and doing the same things in essence to our children, if we went to Korea, heaven forbid, and started barking and screaming over there about and changing, protocol and what have you amongst their children, we'd get our butts thrown in jail. I've seen it happen for things even less. They went over there taking pictures, or they went over there and misrepresented, in their opinion, a story, and the journalists were thrown in jail. People that went over taking pictures in some places were thrown in jail. But oh no, they can come to this country and the spill gates open up for them. When is it going to stop? Now, our American kids don't have the privilege of saying, well, we're going on Christmas break. We have to say winter holiday. Because some muzzies came over and dictated policy in a country that's not their own. Isn't that just the bee's knees? Boy, I've gone 50s. I mean, it's
being nice about it too.
I really am, Chris. I'm trying to be nice about this because, whoa, man, I'm about ready to go left. It's just stupid. Where is it going to end? Are these foreigners, in essence, coupled with the stupid jackasses that are supposed to be running this country, are they just going to let them come in and this place cease to be America? I'm looking for one day for them to take the Stars and Stripes down. And instead of singing the national anthem, we're going to start singing the Muzzy song.
Yeah.
What is it about this certain group of people that sets everybody's heart aflutter to be so accepting of them? Oh, we love you.
It's the second time.
First of all, most every time you hear of something that has Muslim or Islamic jihadist or Islamic extremist, you think of three major things now: Twin Towers, Boston bombing, and now San Bernardino. How many good things do you think of? This CAIR or CAIR, who's always beating on the tom-toms for their own people. Oh, we're good, loving people. Every time you see somebody chopping their heads off and all this kind of stuff. Every time they come on, we're good, loving people. You should not hate us. You should not be an Islamophobe. You should not do this. You should... so sick of this crap. Every time you see them, they're beating on the tom-toms about how good they are. Yet they don't want us to come into their mosques to see what the hell they're talking about in there. They don't want us to get near them because everything offends them. I've never seen such a bunch of offended bastards before in my life. Mm-hmm. If you stand up, they're offended. If you sit down, they're offended. If you eat a piece of meat, a piece of bacon, they're offended. If you bite an apple, they're offended. If it has a worm in it, they're offended. If you bite the apple and there's only a half a worm in it, they're more offended. Well, why don't they take their offended asses back to their own country where they won't be offended anymore? You don't want to celebrate Christmas, you don't like Jesus Christ, then go to your own damn country where you can do your own thing and do it to death, and then you won't be offended. But if you come to somebody else's country, then you bow to their will and you get rid of your offense. Because we didn't ask you to come here. At least I didn't. My executive producer didn't. So why don't you stay your asses where you are? God. And then there's this woman that was on there who was born here, by the way. See, that's the whole thing. They come here and they're born here and they think they got, a big cheese in the country. Oh, I can get in there and I can kick some ass and I can get things changed. No, you can't. I don't care if you were born here. You're still a freaking muzzy. And you have those ideologies and all that crap. And we still don't want your dumbass ideas.
And you need to stop calling them Muslim Americans. If they're Muslims, they're just Muslims because they don't cotton to American ideals.
Yeah, because Americans offend you. Mm-hmm. So why would you want to be attributing yourself to something so offensive? Yeah, she gets on there and she's talking about, well, we just wanted to have our holidays recognized. And when the school board brought down that they had changed all the other religious holidays, we were shocked. And we just want to set things up, and we're going out to the community so that we can tell people that we didn't have anything to do with it. The hell you didn't, because if you hadn't been starting that shit in the first place, it wouldn't have taken place. So it is to be put on your doorstep, you dumbass.
It's not what they wanted. They're just mad because they didn't get the actual Muslim holiday put on the calendar.
Well, they said that they were going to put one of them on.
Mm-hmm.
But they wanted all of it.
How many times are we going to be accommodating to these people? This is the second incident that's exactly the same. What's going to be next? They're going to call for a nationwide United States change of all the holidays just to make sure no Muslims are offended on any of the states?
They're probably going to want the United States of Islam.
Mm-hmm.
And these idiots especially, oh bastard, we'll give it to them.
That's his plan.
But I mean, honestly, the madness just keeps growing every day. I mean, there's not a day go past, especially since 2015 came in. It's been like at first it started out like every other month. Then it's every other week. Now it's every damn day. There's something going on about some damn muzzies. Mm-hmm. And it is sickening. You can't have any guns. You can't have any this. It's come to a point where they're talking about Islamophobia. It's more like Islamanasia, because it makes you sick at your stomach for this. And not only is it just the muzzies, but it's the way our government and even some of our own people are reacting. Case in point, on the debates the other evening, Ben Carson was asked a question. If he were commander-in-chief and, like what's going on over in Syria, if this began to escalate and what have you, would he bomb the place knowing that there were children there? And he made a statement, and the moderator then made a statement. I don't know whether it was the chief moderator, which was Wolf Blitzer, or one of those other ones, Hugh Hewitt, or that other funny-looking partridge-faced woman. But they then made a statement back to Ben Carson, and the audience became enraged because they were trying to make Ben Carson look like some kind of monster. Well, anybody knows that if you're elected commander-in-chief of the United States of America, your first obligation, and with your permission, I'll repeat this, your first obligation is to the American people, the ones that elected your sorry ass to office. So if I'm elected president, Phil Taylor Jones, if I'm elected president and I have to bomb the heck out of anybody, I don't care what age they are, to preserve American life, then drop the bombs, baby, drop them. I'm doing my job. Oh, how could you say that? Those are innocent children. The hell you say. I have seen it so many times on so many newscasts on telly where terrorism does not have exclusively a male face. What was going on in San Bernardino? Oh yeah, all of them men jumped out of that SUV and shot them people, right? Yeah, we know one of them was a woman. Although if you look at her pictures, she kind of looks like a man. But female. I've even heard on telly where little kids as young as 5 or 6 years old had suicide vests on under their little Batman shirts, go into a crowded venue and cut loose. These people that you're so wanting to cuddle and oh, we love them so much. Their rite of passage is blowing your damn brains out or blowing up a crowded venue. They fear nothing. They're taught from infancy to fear nothing but Allah. What's that little stupid saying they have?
Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar, whatever the hell it is. That's what they're taught. And from 8
means Islam is great.
8 to 80, 9 to 90, 6 to 60, whichever little equation you want to use, they will blow you away. That's not Islamophobia. It's being cautious. It's knowing what you're up against. What's that saying? Knowing is half the battle? That's where it's at, man. Knowing what could happen. So no, I don't want them in the country. I think Donald Trump is being a little too nice with the ban. Ban them, period, totally, and forever. They don't need to be here. This stupid Jeb Tush. Well, we need to keep an open line of communication with them. We need them. We need to associate with them. No, we don't. Where do they get this crap that we need these foreigners? We don't need them for anything. We have enough American people here to get her done. Get the job done. Well, we're dealing with old aircraft. We're dealing with old tanks. We're dealing with old missiles. Yeah, I guess you are because you're so damn greedy, oh bastard, and all these other muckety mucks. You're selling our good stuff to the bad people. F-35s, F-22 Raptors, and under the latest type of missiles and ICBMs, the newest tanks. And you're helping them get new ships while ours are so raggedy that a fish can swim in one side of the hull and out the other side. Take care of this country, not somebody else's. That's the whole damn problem with this country. You're so busy straining at the gnat and swallowing the camel, trying to do something for somebody else, like you're playing chess. Don't want your foreign policy. Your foreign policy. Again, Trump was right. If we had spent that $4 trillion on our own country, we would be where the foreign countries are, like Japan, Great Britain, Paris, with all these wonderful highfalutin train systems and airport systems, and their roads and everything are beautiful and pristine. No, we're spending so we can try to support foreign policy.
China has more up-to-date airports than we do.
China's doing better than we are in some ways, and sometimes in some ways they're not, because their government's just as corrupt as ours. Mm-hmm. But it's time to wake up. You know, these people are serious. They're coming over here and they're taking over. They're showing their power. And you claim that they're harmless? They're killing you gently. They're killing our values. They're killing our lifestyle. They're killing our Americana. Pretty soon this is going to be Islamic. Everything. They've got mosques. They've got this, they've got that. They don't want this. They're offended by that. They don't want you to eat pork. Everything has to be halal. I mean, I forget halal. If I want me some bacon, I'm going to eat some bacon, damn it. In fact, tonight we're going to have pork chops. Muzzies, how do you like that?
How about
we're going to have
that,
some
eh?
pork chops. Big, fat, thick ones. In all of their piggy glory. So take that. You're not going to change what's eaten in this house, you muzzy bastard, going around changing our school systems and what have you. I mean, I remember working with the kids, and we would, have lots of fun preparing for the Christmas parade over there in Echo Park. This is a place here in California, folks. And getting ready for our Christmas shows, and proudly displaying that on our Christmas programs. Christmas. Easter, Thanksgiving. If you find that offensive, muzzies, they're selling plane tickets out. They're selling shipping, selling tickets in the shipping line so you can get your ass on a boat and get the hell out of here. I'm offended by your offensiveness. You offensive bastards. And screwing around with our kids, now that's low. How anybody could sit there and condone this kind of shit makes me mad. Screwing around with our kids.
Not American. They're anti-Americans.
And we're the bloody parents. Now, I will say that there were a few parents on this clip that we're talking about over there in Maryland that were very vocal. One guy was very vocal. And good on you, mate. Very vocal about this. But where are the parents in multitudes? It used to be a time when you looked at their kids funny, they were on your case. But they let these bastards come in and change everything and nobody says a damn thing? Well, I'm saying a damn thing.
These traditions that have been around for centuries. And now they're changed because of muzzies.
Yeah. And then they won't let more. In fact, they are letting them in. I have on good authority that 10,000 are down in Florida. I have a good friend who lives in Florida named Oscar. You've heard me talk about Oscar. In fact, it was because of him we're doing this show, because he had put some information out on his Google Plus page, and we decided to do a show on it. He said, go right ahead. Thanks, Oscar. Well,
Thank
we're
you.
doing you proud, buddy. But yeah, 10,000 down there in Florida. And, they're just all over the place wreaking havoc. And even some of the American kids are going around with hijabs on and running up to people, American people, what have you, and throwing bobs down and saying this Islamic thing they say.
It means Allah is the greatest.
Allah is the greatest or whatever, crapola. And, hey, you kids out there doing that crap, that's a good way for you to get your little butt shot off. Or how would you feel if you threw some of that crap down in front of an old person, they had a heart attack or some kind of seizure and died? Then that makes you just as much of a terrorist as the ones you're trying to emulate. I mean, God, what is going on with this country? This is ridiculous. So we had to bring you up to speed on that one, folks. And I'm not going to say what shows we're going to do anymore, because every time I say that, we end up coming back to you with something, because that's the kind of craziness we're up against. Again, thank you to Oscar for giving us this information so that we could bring it to you. And once again, be safe and take care when you're out there doing your holiday shopping, because you never know where the nuts are. And like I said before, they're not wearing signs that say, hey, I'm a nut, I'm a terrorist, I'm going to blow you away. Run, run, save yourself. So be very careful out there. Have fun with your families during this time for shopping. And we'll see you again on the Phil Taylor Jones Show, maybe even sooner than you expect. Merry Christmas and take care. Bye-bye.